In a blow to the CFTC, the US court throws out the MyForexFunds lawsuit. Judge sanctions the CFTC over agency's conduct in the MyForexFunds case. So it looks like MyForexFunds has won their case after all. A little bit of a backstory. Back in 2023, almost 2 years ago, MyForexFunds was one of the biggest prop firms, if not the biggest prop firm alongside FTMO. I remember it quite clearly because they had a challenge running at that time, and then just overnight MyForexFunds disappeared, our accounts got locked, and this massive lawsuit appeared where the CFTC charged MyForexFunds for basically defrauding their customers out of $300 million. So the whole lawsuit was based around MyForexFunds promising traders real funding, real money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for traders to trade with if they pass a specific challenge. So CFTC came in, said the whole thing was a scam, and froze all of MyForexFunds assets alongside the CEO of MyForexFunds. So I think his Bugatti got seized as well. And it was some breaking news. So let's take a look at this article from Reuters. As I mentioned, so judge sanctions the CFTC over agency's conduct. So looks like the CFTC did something they shouldn't have done and the case got thrown out. So let's read more. This was in May 14. A federal judge in Camden, New Jersey, has thrown out a Commodity Futures Trading Commission lawsuit against a U.S.-Canadian trading firm after finding that the U.S. agency acted in bad faith and made false statements, according to a docket entry on Wednesday. So the case got dismissed. See, the case against Traders Global Group, also known as MyForex Funds, and awarded the company attorney fees. So basically, CFTC has to pay all of the fees for this whole case. If we go a bit lower, I will link this article so you can take a look as well, but there's a lot of text. So lawyers for the trading firm and its CEO Murtuza Kazmi, see, this is the guy that got all of his assets seized, and later they did return the assets to him. So he said in a statement that the case should never have been brought. So CFTC acted willfully and in bad faith on several occasions. Here is one example of the CFTC acting in bad faith. So they had accused MyForexFunds and Kazmi of fraudulently booking at least $310 million in fees from thousands of customers. See, so they basically made more than $310 million in revenue from failed challenge fees from us traders, okay? Because they did promise to give us real funding, real money if we pass those challenge accounts. That was the game. And it's still the game. A lot of prop firms still do this. So the agency said MyForexFunds illicitly transferred $31.5 million to an unidentified account outside of the United States. Okay. As a result, a judge froze the assets of both Kazmi and MyForexFunds. But then CFTC employees received an email before the case was filed from the Ontario Securities Commission confirming that the $31.5 million transfers were legitimate tax payments. And the payments were to the Canadian authorities. And then, despite possessing the email, the CFTC proceeded with the lawsuit when they kind of shouldn't have, or they should have brought up that this 31.5 million transfers were actually legitimate transfers. They were legitimate tax payments. So they alleged that the 31.5 million transfers were evidence that Kazmi may and is likely to transfer or dissipate his assets. So that there was some wrongdoing or possibly some money laundering. The CFTC did not disclose the email until 4 months after bringing its case. In a footnote in a court filing, the report said. And also at multiple points in time, the CFTC also had the opportunity to correct the false statements and impressions that had been made, yet it chose to go a different route in violation of its duty of candor to the court. Okay, that is what was said in the unsealed report. An unidentified CFTC attorney also admitted his conduct was careless and sloppy. So CFTC clearly did a lot of mistakes in this whole court case. If they didn't do all of these mistakes, such as being careless, sloppy, doing this thing where they didn't bring up the evidence that these assets were legitimate tax payments. So maybe if they weren't that sloppy, maybe this would have been a different ruling. But in a court case, everything needs to be by the book. So even if CFTC was correct in suing MyForexFunds, again, if you make mistakes, the case is gonna get thrown out. That is just how it goes with court cases. So that's about it for the breaking news. MyForexFunds won this case. CFTC lost. CFTC has to pay for all of the court fees. The CEO, Murtuza Kazmi, he did get his assets back. I think he also got the Bugatti back. So they did unfreeze the assets. If you do want to know more about this, I did make a video about the whole situation when it happened. So MyForexFunds is gone aftermath. You can watch it. I'll link it somewhere in this video so you can take a look exactly what happened in detail. And now I want to talk about what does this mean for us as traders, or what does this mean for anyone that used to be a client for MyForexFunds? And was MyForexFunds doing something wrong? So just a quick Google search will reveal that MyForexFunds was doing some very shady stuff in the background. And I clearly remember this 2 years ago. There was a lot of evidence that came out. So what MyForexFunds did is they manipulated the spreads, the slippage, and the trading conditions. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, because they were not taking anyone's trades. They were making all of their revenue from the failed challenge fees. And that is how it goes with all of the prop firms that you have on the market today, even FTMO. So what happens is, again, they make all of their revenue from the failed challenge fees. They don't want you to win, because when you do pass phase 1 and phase 2, when you get to the funded stage and when you make money on the funded stage, any revenue that you make goes straight out of the pocket of the prop firm owners. So it is in their best interest for you to lose. Now, there are good prop firms that actually don't do this manipulation. Example is FTMO, example is 5%ers, but there's also a lot of shady prop firms that still do this stuff. And as you can see, MyForexFunds was heavily doing this stuff. I remember like a conversation between the CEO and some of the staff where they explicitly talked about increasing the spreads for a specific trader who was making too much money. So I have to say, MyForexFunds was definitely shady. The trading conditions were far worse than they should have been. And I personally would say that there was definitely enough evidence to bring up the case that the CFTC did. Okay, so CFTC basically sued MyForexFunds for kind of defrauding $300 million from traders because they promised traders that they will give them real funds to trade. And in the end, it turned out that those funds were just demo accounts. And again, all of the revenues came from the failed challenge fees. Your next question may be, will MyForexFunds come back now that the case is gone, basically, that the case has been dropped? I don't know. I would say they're not coming back. The prop firm space is highly saturated. There's a lot of prop firms. The interest has gone down as well. If you take a look at the overall number of payouts for specific prop firms, their revenues are overall definitely going down. So I would say the interest for prop firms has gone down from, let's say, 2 years ago. For them to come back, first, their name was completely tarnished, so it would be very hard for them to come back and for people to trust them. Second, the competition is very high. So FTMO, 5%ers, they are now the top dogs in the CFD prop firm space. So it's very tough for a newcomer to take a piece of the pie from those guys. They would either have to offer very competitive pricing or much better trading conditions, and both of those things are very problematic because if you lower the challenge fee or you lower the profit targets, or increase the drawdown, then your revenue goes down drastically, and also you can get a lot of profitable traders who keep taking a lot of profits out of the company, and you can very easily go bankrupt. So the challenge fee that, let's say, FTMO offers and the trading conditions that FTMO offers are currently very competitive and tough to beat. Your final question may be, will you get your money back if you were a client of MyForexFunds? Again, the case was dropped. Their assets were returned to them. There was a lot of traders with running accounts. I was one of them when this whole case happened. Now, the way I got my money back is through a chargeback process. So that is when you call your bank, tell your bank you have been a victim of a fraud, and then your bank tries to get your money back for you. I actually did get my money back, which was great news for me. I also made a video about that. So unfortunately, if you haven't gotten your money back yet, I don't think there's a high chance you ever will. Too much time has passed. Even if you try to go and issue a chargeback for your bank, I think that's only valid for the first 6 months, or like 6 months or 1 year after you made the purchase. So that's about it. Summary is, case was dropped, their funds were returned, but I do still think they were doing some very shady stuff in the background, like basically manipulating spreads, slippage, trading conditions, actively seeking for traders to fail, and that is just a very bad business practice. I mean, this whole way how prop firms are set up, where they make all of their revenue from the challenge fees, is broken from the start. But again, if you're a profitable trader, if you know what you're doing, and if you go with a reputable prop firm that is not gonna scam you if you make a profit, then you can make some money. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to learn how to trade, learn how to get payouts from prop firms, how to pass funded accounts, definitely join zentumtrading.com. A link will be in the description. So at Zentum, we teach you everything you need to know to go from zero to consistently profitable trader. Just last week, one of the founders, Griff, passed his phase 1 of FTMO. I think it's a 200K account, and also passed phase 1 of a 5%ers account. He took a massive sell on the New Zealand Japanese yen. It was an awesome trade. So if you want to know more, check out the link in the description. That's it. See you guys in the next one.